Welcome back to the Driveway Beers podcast with Mike and Alex. As always, we appreciate you listening. Please rate us on all the podcast platforms. Like, subscribe, comment, share wherever else you're listening, and enjoy the show. All right, welcome back to another show. We appreciate you coming back as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Especially rate on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. Give us a rating. I don't care if it's 1 star, 2 stars, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter to us. Any rating will help us out. Preferably 5 if you like what you're listening to. If you keep coming back week after week, shoot us a rating. Want to thank Adam Chubbuck with Douglas Realty in Pasadena. TACMD.com, TACMD.com. That is Team Alpha Charlie with Douglas Realty. Look, it is going to be a kind of a rocky road here with the change of political power going on. You're going to need someone who is knowledgeable on the real estate market to kind of help you through, especially one that is got his pulse on the mortgage market as well. So reach out to Adam. And what are you looking for?
One of those cups.
Oh.
Thanks.
Mike's trying to get his drink on while I'm doing the intro.
Yeah. Important stuff.
It probably is more important than the sponsor rate, right? Than the guy who's paying the bills. By the way, I'm pretty sure Adam is on your side with that Ovechkin bet.
Yeah, because he's smart.
No, I can't. I'm surrounded by assholes, right? I'm surrounded by all you Ovechkin people.
Right, assholes.
I still say, and we're going to talk about Russian assets in a minute, but I think Ovechkin was planted here by Putin.
Fake news.
I mean, it's probably fake news. I'm saying it anyway, damn it. I'm putting it out there. Alex Ovechkin, Russian asset, just letting you people know. He's going to take the scoring title over from amazing Canadian, non-Russian asset Wayne Gretzky, and going to ruin hockey for everyone. Just letting everyone know that. Although he's not going to break the record because I'm pretty sure that the Canadian Mafia will take Alex Ovechkin out before he breaks the record. They're probably going to hit him with a rock and a slingshot because they don't have guns. Ken.
Right. Sorry,
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to get you above the knee, Sorry about that. I was going for a lower leg shot. He'll survive. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Adam's a smart man, if he,
I'll send him a
in addition to his other talents, for being on the right side of history.
Speaking of talents, Adam has a really good talent for having really great knowledge about the real estate market, and he has great connections in the mortgage industry. So if you don't have a lender, you can go to Adam, and he'll put you in contact with one of his good friends who's also a lender, who has a talent for getting people qualified when they're not able to get qualified elsewhere. And not with horrible rates either. Not one of those guys who gives you like the 10.25, interest rate.
Mafia rate.
Yeah, he's not adding the VIG to it, right? It's an actual interest rate with an actual company. So go to Adam, TACMD.com, go check him out. We were talking about Russian assets.
Mm-hmm.
So President Trump starts putting his cabinet together. He's made some appointments. We'll go through them one by one. Or do you want me to name them all and then go through them? How do we want to do this?
I guess we just name them and then talk about them.
Okay. Before we talk about this, though, this is an opinion-based show meant to be comedic, informative, more comedic than informative.
Right.
Nothing.
Unless you're not laughing, then it's informative.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's listened to this show knows we probably don't know shit.
Right.
So, but thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I burp into the microphone. This is a classy show. All class, all the time. They keep hearing a pop, pop, pop from me moving the microphone around. That's amazing. And then they get to hear me burp in their ear. The show's starting off great.
Wait till we start lighting farts on fire.
Oh, that'd probably be amazing. Too bad we don't do video. Start doing Dude Perfect stuff. Except like the funny
right.
Dude Perfect. Yeah. I wonder if I can. I don't think I have the gas tonight though. Like I couldn't make it happen. The other night was fucking gross, dude. I like it's the type of farts that would like make yourself gag.
Oh man,
like my own farts were making me gag.
Yeah,
it was that bad.
Yeah,
I think it's the candy. I think sugar. So everyone knows like I've been trying to cut my sugar way down. Well, of course Halloween comes around, right? Yeah, and. My willpower sucks when when we have candy left over. Like I'm not taking the kids' candy, and I'm not that kind.
I take the kids' candy.
I mean, like one or two. I take
I take full liberty. Like that candy is my candy. I allow you to eat it.
Yeah, you got boys though.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that with my girls.
Yeah,
I mean, I take a couple. I try and take the ones they don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to be. I want them to be. You know, I'm amazing because I'm their dad.
And full size stuff that's automatically mine.
Ooh.
So when they come back from your court with full size bars,
yeah,
like, don't even get excited over it. The government's taking it,
right?
Like you think you won a car, you didn't win anything.
Socialism happening now in your house.
You get to live in this utopia,
right? So the appointments have started to come out. So Tulsi Gabbard is the head of the intelligence community.
Probably gonna try to kill her.
RFK Jr., head of HHS.
Probably gonna try to kill him.
Pete Hegseth, head of the defense secretary.
He's SecDef.
Okay. Kristi Noem,
did she kill a dog?
The dog killer.
Wow.
She's gonna be the head of Department of Homeland Security.
Okay.
Which I thought was a bit strange. We'll get to that in a minute. Matt Gaetz, Attorney General.
Okay.
I'm not laughing because it's funny. Well, I kind of laughing because it's funny. Let's see if I got any more. Let me see. I got the list. Okay. White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles.
Yeah. Secretary
of State Marco Rubio.
Okay.
Yeah, Attorney General Matt Gaetz. Deputy Attorney General is Todd Blanche, who I believe is his actual attorney. HHS Robert RFK Jr. UN Ambassador Elise Stefanik.
Okay.
Border Czar Tom Homan.
Yo, that dude was on. I saw him on something, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm kicking you the fuck out." I'm like, damn, look at this dude.
We'll get to him in a minute.
What if they bring their children with? Like, they can fucking go too. I'm like, God, the hard man.
That dude's wild.
Like, he's coming out of the gates running.
Like, it's amazing. Like that guy is something. I hope he has a press conference every day, just because that shit's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Secretary of Veterans Affairs is Doug Collins, like the basketball coach. Don't know. National Security Advisor Michael Walls, don't know him. White House Counsel William McGinley, don't know him. Solicitor General Dean John Sauer, don't know him. Homeland Security Kristi Noem, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, I've heard that name before.
So have
I. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. I believe he was a New York Republican.
He was. He ran against what's her name, Hochul.
Okay.
And
he almost won.
He gave her a run for her money. And someone tried to kill him too.
Yep. U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know.
Don't you usually nominate a Jewish person for that?
He's very much not.
His daughter is the governor of Missouri.
Yeah. Is it Missouri? Where are they from?
Isn't it Missouri?
No, she's...
It's not Kansas.
Is he Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Maybe that
one. Because she was his press secretary.
She was.
Yeah.
And then And so, let's see, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York is Jay Clayton, don't know him. Deputy Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. The acronym is Doge.
Yeah.
Elon's a fucking child, dude.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Like, between what he names his cars and what he's now naming, he probably named his own department.
Yeah.
And if he didn't, and that was just there, that's a real fucking coincidence.
Yeah, it's too coincidental.
Yeah. Let's see. Deputy Chief of Staff is Dan Scavino. Never heard of him. Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller. That was the guy that everyone said was a Nazi.
Yeah.
He looks like Skeletor.
Yeah.
My man does not have a good camera face.
No.
Probably a wonderful human being. Deputy Chief of Staff for Legislative, Political, and Public Affairs, James Blair. Don't know. Deputy Chief of Staff, Communications and Personnel, Taylor Budowich. Don't know. Presidential Personnel Office Head, Sergio Dgur. Sounds Russian.
Asset.
Russian asset. All right. We'll go down the ones we know. All right. So Susie Wiles. Actually, the only thing I know about Susie Wiles, she's been in politics for a while. She's the first female White House Chief of Staff.
I thought that the woke lefties would have had that.
They didn't do it the last time. So Susie Wiles.
Yeah.
First woman White House Chief of Staff is a Republican. I mean,
who'd have thunk it?
Apparently, I thought all Republicans beat their women, so maybe they beat her into doing this.
Could be.
Okay. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, kind of a surprising pick.
Yeah. What did he call him the first time they ran against each other? Was it Little Marco or something?
Little Marco.
Yeah.
Dude, he had nicknames for all these assholes.
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know what makes a good Secretary of State. I know senators have done it in the past, so why not him?
Yeah.
You kind of need that political polish because he's going to be dealing with a lot of the foreign people.
Yeah.
And you got Trump, who's not polished.
Dana White could have done it.
I'll tell you what, Dana White's guy, if he gets a position, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, but why would Dana White want to leave the gold mine of UFC to go do some shitty government job?
He could probably do them both at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
At what level do you have to divest yourself?
For Secretary of State? No,
I'm sure none of them ever actually do.
I mean, what?
I mean, hell, Dick Cheney was running Halliburton and like giving himself contracts.
I know, right? He said, "Well, I'm off ahead of Halliburton now." Yeah, but then you went back and were the CEO or whatever. You were something, or you were on the board of directors or some bullshit. I don't know. Is there some connection going on?
But he's a Democrat now, so
apparently, when's he just going to come out and announce it? To be like, "I, Dick Cheney."
Like, when are they going to pull the mask off? Like, like it's like they're going to pull the donkey mask off, and it's an elephant.
It's Al Gore. It's really Al Gore. There's no way Dick Cheney survived this long. Liz Cheney's going to be Tipper Gore.
I invented the internet.
There is some truth in that, by the way. Mm. Anyway, Attorney General is Matt Gaetz. Now, this is this guy, and look, I'm going to use the word allegedly a lot here.
Yeah.
So he was arrested.
Was he allegedly touching kids or something?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We're going to allegedly. No, it wasn't that he was touching kids. It was that he allegedly trafficked a 17-year-old. Allegedly.
Okay.
He was found not guilty, though.
Right.
So he was exonerated.
Yeah.
However, of course, for the left, it's not good enough to be exonerated.
No, unless you're Diddy or someone.
Right.
You're a hero.
By the way, we can get into celebrity endorsements later. It turns out, shocker, they were paid.
What?
Beyonce got $10 million to not perform. Well, she performed, but she did it in a speech.
Yeah, well.
She didn't perform. And apparently they booed her because she didn't actually sing. That's why she looked all weird. But, so Matt Gaetz, who was charged with trafficking children, allegedly, but exonerated, is going to be your attorney general. Maybe. But apparently there's like 10 Republican senators who aren't going to vote for him. We'll see what happens. Deputy Attorney General, don't know Todd Blanche. RFK Jr., HHS Secretary, thank God.
Yes.
And the worst part, this is one thing I hate about social media, and I hate about media in general. They're already going at him still about him being a conspiracy theorist, an anti-vaxxer. Like this dude, his actions, if you look at his actions, he helped make the Hudson River one of the cleanest bodies of water in America because he helped clean it up. Because he sued the companies that dumped the shit in there and made them clean it up.
Yeah.
He helped out the fact that mercury was in vaccines. It wasn't he wasn't anti-vax.
Right.
He was anti what's in the vaccine.
Yeah.
And not the active ingredients. He was anti the shit that was like the helpers, like the coagulants.
Yeah.
The things that help the vaccine bind to the whatever it needs to bind to make the vaccine work.
It turns out mercury is bad for you.
No, you don't say.
Well, this is our new asbestos vaccine.
Right. Like these are the people that are like, mercury in the fish is horrible. We can't have mercury in the fish.
But let's inject it into our children.
We're going to inject it like the bleach that Donald Trump said to inject. Because that actually happened too.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude, he's going to go after the people that have been bought and paid for to approve the drugs in this country.
Yeah.
Anyone who hasn't watched Dope Sick or... Oh, I can't remember the other one with Matthew Broderick. But basically the two TV shows that were based on the Purdue Pharma pushing OxyContin.
Yep.
And how they got sued into oblivion. And how the FDA worked and all that. Anyone who hasn't seen that, or people that have seen it and don't think that applies to any other drug approval, is fucking retarded.
You could be a moron.
I don't want to use that word.
You're a moron.
Yes. 100% stupid for not thinking that the FDA hasn't approved other drugs without any real trials being done.
Yeah.
Just rubber stamp that shit. And if you don't believe it happens at all, you need to watch those.
Yeah.
Yes, I know it's a TV show. Yes, I know it's dramatized, but the factual information about what happened is 100% true.
Yep.
Just watch it. Mm-hmm. Dope Sick was probably the better of the two.
Dope Sick was.
So watch that one. And now extrapolate that to all the other drugs that have been approved over the last 20 to 30 years. If they're willing to approve that one and and fuck over America, you have to be able to imagine what some of these other drugs are doing to people.
Yeah.
Granted, this was like legitimizing the opioid epidemic. They literally gave a pharmaceutical company a green light to get people addicted on opioids.
Right.
Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Like, it was legal drug running. And then, not only did they rubber stamp it at the FDA level, they turned a blind eye to the pill mills. Mm-hmm. They turned a blind eye, when Purdue went to the hospitals and they introduced a new pain management scale.
Oh, so I worked in a hospital when they did it. So every room had this point tier level of pain. And it went from like 1 to 10, right? And it had like this little cartoon character. Mm-hmm. So like people that couldn't read could use it. Little kids could use it. And you'd point to it, like whatever your pain level was. And like 10 was like a little cartoon character like on fire, like the worst ever. And you'd point to your pain level and that would give them an idea of how much OxyContin to give you. Like, this is now some of the old school docs were like they're like this is bullshit. Like there's no way that an opioid is. And then other ones like just get this piece of shit out of my freaking ER. Mm-hmm. And they just give them get out of here. The old school dudes would be like, no, you can have Tylenol 800. See ya, bud. Like, and it was on Sundays. Sunday nights were the worst because all the narc seekers would come in and they'd be complaining of unverifiable pain like backaches, toothaches, stuff like that. They weren't coming in like, hey, I shot a nail through my hand. They were coming in with like, I have a toothache. Well, the ER is not equipped to handle that, so they just give you dope and send you on your way. So,
then they had the pill mills.
Yeah,
and the pill mills, you go in and they were just writing the scripts for it.
Oh yeah,
for no reason.
Yep,
like they literally tell you what you had. Mm-hmm. Oh, you've got a really bad neck pain. Yeah, really bad neck pain.
Yeah,
that's what you have. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what you have. Well, that's what you have.
Yeah,
right. Really bad neck pain, and the person would finally get the clue. Like, oh yeah, that's what I got. Mm-hmm. And so, the fact that this guy is going to go after them. I mean, apparently there was a rumor going around that a bunch of FDA employees were going to resign if RFK Jr. was nominated for the HHS secretary position.
Bye.
And that's the common refrain was, you're the ones that probably fucked around.
Yeah.
So you're probably resigning so you don't get fucking
So you have to find out.
Right. Because he's going after these people.
Yeah.
And
good. The craziest thing, and we may have touched on this on another show, was how, like, when Kennedy and Trump came together, they joined forces like Voltron.
Yep.
They were, all of a sudden, it was like being healthy. And the left had been trending this way anyway, especially with like the body positivity and all this nonsense. But
before that, Michelle Obama's whole thing was eat healthy.
Yeah. It was fine when she did it.
Everyone loved it.
Yeah. Now, granted, kids aren't going to get carrots out of a vending machine with their Skittles next to them. It's not happening. Actually, my oldest probably would. That dude would eat carrots about.
My youngest one, too.
Yeah.
Fucking chew down. Just
it's like
it's all veggies all the time. We talked to the doctor about that today.
Yeah.
We went to the doctor. She's like, well, what do you think about her eating? I was like, well, she eats a ton of vegetables, which I can't complain about. But I was like, I don't think she gets enough protein.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I was like, the really only thing she'll eat is chicken. And like, she'll eat grilled chicken. Like, not just chicken nuggets, but
yeah.
It's like, and she'll eat some steak if we have it. But of course, my wife doesn't eat red meat, so we really don't have steak in the house.
Yeah.
So, and she's not a big fish fan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, well, outside of chicken, what can I give her?
She eat eggs?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll eat them if we make them, but then that means we got to make them. So, you know.
I make eggs every morning, too. I could live off eggs. I could eat bacon and eggs, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I do like an egg.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But anyway, I mean, so I'm not sad to see the backlash from him.
No. And the thing is, like, the backlash started coming, like it was like, oh, they started making fun of, they called it MAHA, Make America Healthy. You're like, oh, look how stupid are you guys. Like, what? Like, none of this shit's good. How are you defending oatmeal cream pies?
Right.
Now, look, we all know I love oatmeal cream pies, but it's made out of high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, and flour. Like, there's nothing good there.
Right.
And I know this. But, like, you know, when you have, Coca-Cola paying off the NAACP to keep soft drinks on, eligible to be purchased on WIC and food stamps, because if they don't, it's racist. Like, how are we drawing these connections? But instead of just pay them off, but all of a sudden now, if you're into trying to eat better, or you're like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be eating so much, processed seed oils. Oh, what are you, some right-wing nutcake? Like, how did the granola moms and the and the Trump movement get united? That's how wacky things are today.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Like, what happened? That, when we talk about this before, but like, I've now separated liberals from Democrats, because I don't believe liberals have a home with the Democrat Party.
No, I consider myself liberal in some regards, like certain issues and
I do 100%.
Certain positions. Really, my steadfast conservative stuff is really kind of centers around Second Amendment type things. And
correct,
but
that's my own. That's like my only conservative thing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say only. Like, I guess I feel like I'm kind of pro life in my personal life, but politically I'm pro choice.
Yeah.
So like, I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, my only political leaning conservative view would be the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else, but I don't know. So I consider myself a liberal. I guess you call us classic liberals.
Yeah, but now it has to be free speech too, because like all of a sudden, being a proponent of free speech is and not for censorship makes you a right winger.
Yeah, like, that was another one, man. I'm like, what the heck happened? Like, I can't be pro. Like, I guess I'm one of those absolute. I guess they call us absolutists for free speech.
Mm-hmm. I
don't want censorship.
No,
I mean, look, I'm married to a Jewish woman. My kids are being raised Jewish. I do believe there are some neo-Nazis in this country.
Yeah.
And I want them to be out and about.
Yeah.
And I want them to say their shit. Because it sounds fucking stupid when they say it.
Yeah.
And I want other people to hear how stupid it is.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of that coin is people want censorship because they're afraid people are going to hear it and they're going to flock to it. That's not how that works.
The numbers of neo-Nazis aren't growing.
The only way they increase their numbers, and this is the way it is with any fringe group, what they do is they look for disenfranchised youth who don't have any friends, who get bullied, who get picked on. And other groups do this as well. This is not just the neo-Nazis.
Street gangs do it.
Street gangs do it.
Yeah.
Specific social groups do it.
Terrorist organizations do it.
There's other social groups that do it that have some letters in their grouping. Not all of them though, but they basically look for disaffected youth, and they basically say, "Hey, we like you," and then they kind of transform into the group that adopted them.
Yeah,
because they're the only people that accepted them, and that's how they attract people. It's not because they're so welcoming. It's because everyone else pushed them away. So as long as you don't push people away into their loving embrace, their message isn't that great. So it's not like that's attracting people. It's the acceptance into a group of people that actually want to be around you is what draws them to it. So yes, I want them to have free speech. I want them to be able to say what they want to say, where they want to say it. I mean, hopefully they would have some good taste. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Westboro Baptist Church going to veterans' funerals and doing their bullshit, but they also are susceptible to counter protests, and they show up.
Yep.
And they basically surround them and shout them down. And I don't know if they keep going anymore. I think they've kind of given up on that. But good ideas will always trump bad ideas.
Right.
And so let the bad ideas be out there.
Yeah.
If you can't win because your idea is better than their idea, then that's more on you than it is on them.
Yeah, and I honestly think the censorship people know that their ideas suck, or that their opposition's ideas are much better, or what they've been saying are just straight up lies, and the only way to keep the lie going is to censor the truth. So if you're speaking the truth, you're not afraid of because you know you're speaking the truth.
Yeah.
If what you're saying is just bullshit that you made up, that you heard from some stupid professor at NYU, then at that point you need the censorship, because without it, your house of cards comes down.
Yep. And look, the other part of it is I don't have all the answers to anything.
No, I have very few answers to anything.
But I like having more information rather than less.
Yeah.
So even if it's wrong, I'd rather, I want to hear what someone else is saying. I might not believe it. I might not think it's real, but I might hear it and take a look at it.
Yeah.
To see if it is real. Maybe it will be. I mean, it's kind of like RFK Jr. I used to believe that he was an anti-vax guy until I listened to him on long form podcasts, and they confronted him about it, and he said, no, that's not what I did.
Yeah.
He said, this is what I said. This is what I was trying to point out. And it made more sense. Like, it sounded reasonable. And just like his thing with, like, the ingredients in foods. I mean, they were even like, they pulled up Campbell's minestrone soup in the United States versus Canada and Europe. Same label, except for the ingredients.
Yeah.
The ingredients on the Campbell's minestrone soup in America is twice as long as the ones in other countries.
Yep.
Like, why is that other shit necessary? Like, all these chemicals and shit have been banned in other countries. Why are they acceptable here? They add no nutritional value.
Right. They bring nothing to the table at all.
And they only harm your body.
Yeah.
And like Democrats, and Bobby Kennedy's technically still a Democrat. And like this is what his crusade is, right? Cleaning up the environment, Democrat view.
Yeah.
Making people healthy and eat healthy food, Democrat view.
Used to be.
Well, right. It used to, all of this shit used to be Democrat shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna, it used to be liberal shit who were Democrats, right? Like, this is what, I don't understand what happened. And now you got the Democrats saying Liz Cheney's a good person. Or Dick Cheney's a good person.
Right.
No, they're not. Mm-hmm. John Bolton is not a good person.
Yeah.
Stop with this shit. Mm-hmm. Like, 4 years ago, John Bolton was a shithead.
Yeah.
And Trump appointed him to be the UN person. That was a horrible pick back then. Now we think he's awesome?
Right. Neocon Warhawk.
But that's the lie shit.
Yeah.
It's like, and they're trying to like make us believe that because he doesn't like Matt Gaetz as the DOJ head, as the Attorney General, that it's actually a bad pick.
Yeah.
Where if he would have said, if he would have said Matt Gaetz was a good pick 4 years ago, they would have said John Bolton was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But now I don't understand what happened. Like I can't fathom what happened.
Yeah, it's such a weird flip. And I think the last time the parties flipped, they keep saying like how like when LBJ turned the South Democrat and took the South, like they keep saying that's the Republicans were always the bad guys, and they were always the racists and stuff. Well, no, that was Lincoln's party. So
right. Well, they said it flipped and it never did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was the Republicans that voted for the Civil Rights Bill.
Yeah.
LBJ just happened to be a Democrat president who signed it.
Uh-huh.
And after he signed it, he said, I'm going to have them N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Yeah.
And then, I talked with our buddy Krishan about the welfare system and how the welfare system disincentivized black fathers to live in the same house as the mothers because then they wouldn't be able to get the assistance.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, like, he told me the story that his stepdad couldn't live in the same house as them because his mother would lose the assistance.
Yeah.
Like, keep on, stepdad, they were married and he couldn't live with them.
Yeah.
Like, they were literally just breaking up minority homes.
Yeah, and neither one of them probably made enough money to overcome the loss of the assistance.
Right.
So
it's wild, man. And again, that was put in place by Democrats.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you like the crime bill?
The crime bill. Joe Biden.
How many young black men got put in jail over that
for weed?
Yeah,
for marijuana. Like life sentences for that shit.
Yep.
It's amazing to me that, and look, I was one of them, man. I thought that shit too. I was like, oh, Republicans are anti-minority and all this stuff.
Oh, me too. I believe that Trump was a racist because the media told me he was.
Yep.
And that he was a Russian plant and all this. And how absurd does it sound? Like when you think back, we're like, come on, like it's ridiculous that Putin blew up his own pipeline. They expect you to believe that shit. But the thing is, they don't come off it. They keep going on. They're still calling Tulsi Gabbard a Russian asset.
Yep. And we're gonna get to her in a minute.
Yeah. They called her a Russian asset when she was an officer in the United States Army. They could freaking kill her for that.
I'm pretty sure she's still active, isn't she?
She was a reservist.
Yeah, she's still active, isn't she?
I think she is.
And so, I'm pretty sure the military would court-martial her if she was a Russian asset.
Yeah.
I'm almost. I mean, don't quote me on that.
I'm pretty sure the punishment's execution by firing squad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not good.
Yeah.
Right. So apparently, all these people know stuff that the U.S. military doesn't know.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of Bobby Kennedy being the HHS secretary. Elise Stefanik, she's a Republican House member, I believe.
I think she's a bit of a war hawk, which kind of...
UN ambassador is a fucking no-show job.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of a mob boss job that really didn't mean anything. The border czar is Tom Homan. I didn't know who this dude was, but I'm a fan.
Yeah, so...
I'm not a fan by what he might do. I'm a fan just because
of how he says
entertainment.
It. Oh, no, the guy's going to be gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I've said on the show plenty of times, I don't think kids who were brought here as children who were raised essentially as Americans, or who are American citizens because they should be kicked out. No, they're American citizens. But this guy's like, no, they can go. Their parents broke the law. Fuck them. Like, it's like, now he's not dropping F-bombs.
Right.
Because I think because he's on camera. Yeah. I'm pretty sure off camera, the dude's like, fuck you. Like, just going, like, raw dogging everything. So,
what if we get him on the podcast?
That would be cool.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know the guy. None of us do. It'd be amazing.
Oh yeah.
I might just write him. Maybe I'll tweet him.
See if he wants to come on.
Right. I'll write him an old letter because he probably doesn't have Twitter or an email.
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy.
Send him.
He reminds me of that kind of guy. Who, like, if he's gonna write an email, he has to have someone write it for him because he doesn't know how to type.
Right.
He hunts and pecks the keyboard.
He dictates it to somebody else?
Yeah, he has to. There's no way my man has any computer skills whatsoever.
Write an email on a piece of paper. Here, send this as an email.
Yeah. Like if you literally had to pick like the old Southern racist white guy for a movie,
yeah,
like you have to cast him.
Give him an accent.
Yeah, I think he's got one. Yeah. I'm sure there's one in there. I just haven't heard enough of him. Like he is typecasted right there. So he's gonna be just amazing for entertainment wise.
Oh yeah,
like he needs to, like I said, he needs to have a daily press conference just so I can check out what he's going to say.
You have to set like an alarm on your phone, like,
right.
Like a push notification.
Like TJF, it's must-see TV, right? Put that shit on prime time. Tell you what, if MSNBC put that shit on, they'd actually get ratings. Yeah. Apparently, I didn't realize this Joy Reid show, which she's a fucking nut job.
Oh.
She only gets like 70,000 viewers per show, which is funny because like a podcast show on YouTube, like that Tim Pool. That Tim Pool show, he gets like, I think he said he gets 250,000 viewers.
Yeah.
And you can see their Vero. I mean, it says it right on the screen.
Yep.
So literally, this beanie wearing dude on YouTube gets more views than an actual cable channel. Mm-hmm. That's wild to me how much that's changed. I mean, that we kind of talked about this before, but that's kind of how, like, I mean, Donald Trump toward the end of the election only went on these long form podcasts. Yeah. And he sat with Rogan for what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
He sat with Andrew Schultz for 2 hours.
Yep.
He sat with Theo Vaughn for, I think, 2 hours.
Yep. He did 2 hours, I think, with Patrick Bet-David.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about the long form podcast is you actually, so like the podcasts I listen to, I feel like I know these guys. Mm-hmm. You know, like I feel like Joe Rogan could walk down here right now, and I think we could just start up a conversation because I've heard him talk so many times. Like you get to know who they are because really the podcast is when you're just talking for 3 hours, it's kind of hard to fake that.
You can't hide your personality.
Yeah.
Over 3 hours, right?
Right. And that was you actually got to hear him. When he was talking to Trump, you heard on all these you heard who this guy is. I wish Kamala Harris had done it. She did call her daddy or something, and nobody watched it. I think it got like 70,000 views. Rogan's with Trump got 100 million.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's the wave of the future. And you'd always think like, oh, the tech people are all Democrats. These people they should be the ones ahead of the game in this, not the old stodgy Republican Party.
Well, and now they're saying they're going to try and create the new a Democrat Joe Rogan.
They had one.
It's Joe Rogan. Like a lot of these people, like Jimmy Dore, liberal.
Yep.
Bill Maher, liberal. Mm-hmm. Joe Rogan was liberal. Like a lot of these dudes are liberal. They're just no longer Democrats.
Yeah.
And that's no. I'm not going to say I don't know how Democrats win another election, because with power comes crazy. Mm-hmm. I'll be straight up about that. Every time I think it's the end of a political party, the political party in power gets punch drunk on power and starts instituting the dumbest fucking shit on earth.
Oh yeah.
If literally for the next 4 years, if they can just remain sane and do common sense shit, you'll set the Republican Party up for the next 12 years or so to remain in power. Like, think about it. All you got to do, 4 years, don't do any crazy shit. Get the crap out of our food, Cut a lot of the wasteful spending, but don't go crazy and cut a bunch of jobs.
Yeah.
Maybe you raise the tariff somewhat, so you bring some jobs back to America. Repatriate some of those funds that are overseas. Lower everyone's taxes because you you got those monies from overseas coming back. And you cut spending.
Yeah.
I mean, you do some of these common sense things. The nail in the coffin would be if they kind of negotiated some kind of abortion thing. Like if they negotiated like a 15-week abortion ban.
Yeah.
Which is it's right on par as far as the most liberal European countries.
Yeah.
If the Republicans actually did that, I think it would be lights out for this, especially if you had like the single issue voters for Democrats that vote for that vote only on abortion.
Right.
And you take that you take that out of play, and you make it a pretty liberal policy. It's almost like, here, we're going to give you this.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the rest of the shit our way. Like, there are so many single issue voters for abortion where if you take it out of play, what do they have?
Yeah.
They already lost the union rank and file.
Yep.
And now imagine if you brought jobs back to the U.S. too because of some of the tariffs.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
And I think if they were to do something like that with the abortion issue, they might lose some of these wacko, prairie dress wearing, uber conservative Christians, but there are a lot more single issue voters who be like, oh, well, now I don't have a reason to stay over here with the lunatics because I'll suck up all this strange stuff that the Democrats are doing and the wars and the nonsense because I'm such a single issue voter. Oh, wait, that's not an issue anymore? Right. I have no reason to stay here. So I think the trade-off is it's kind of like when Chuck Schumer said, we'll trade union people for college graduates. How'd that play out for you, buddy?
Right.
You can't call the electorate stupid for how long and expect them to vote for you.
Well, that was another thing. Like, you're recording union members. Hardcore. At the same time, you're calling them stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and just deriding them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the one big strike you had with the railroad workers strike, Biden and company busted it.
Well, and the weird thing is, though, they eventually worked out the deal that the railroad workers wanted. So they ended up getting the sick days.
Yeah.
But they never said anything.
Yeah.
They let the other side dictate the narrative, which was you busted the rail strike.
Yeah.
No one ever heard the part where they got the deal. But then the other part of it is you've got car manufacturing that was going down. Because now you got all these expensive ass trucks. No one can afford a truck. Like, think about it. The non-educated tradesman or whatever, or the union worker, they usually buy a truck. I mean, the F-150 was the best-selling vehicle in America, regardless of car, truck, whatever. The best-selling vehicle in America. Well, the starting price is now $75,000 or $65,000 or whatever. I forgot what the price, but it was like almost 33% more than it used to be 4 years ago. And now, right now, if you go on any car lot, they are stacked up with Ford F-150s, Ram 1500s, or whatever the Ram is now, and Chevy Silverados. Now, Chevy is putting incentives on their trucks. So now you can get a Chevy Silverado, whatever their middle trim is, because they fucked up their trim levels. I don't know what the fuck is why.
It used to be so easy.
It used to be fucking LS, LT, LTZ. Stick with that shit.
And then sometimes you had LTZ Premium or whatever, Premier.
Yeah, I mean, so...
But now there's High Country and like crack rock and like all this stupid shit. Like, this is my stirrup truck. Like, is that good? Because you have stirrups, or is it bad? Do you need the stirrups to make the truck go?
Right.
Like, which one is it?
They should just change the names. Like, heroin and cocaine. Like, cocaine's the super one.
Yeah.
Heroin's like the more like lower level one because it brings you down a little bit. And then like, I guess like the middle one would be like
meth.
Sure. Yeah.
The rental fleet would be weed.
Right. Make some shit I can fucking understand.
Yeah. Ford did it when they had like the platinum, but they never had like silver or...
No, it was XLT.
Or it was XLT, and then...
STX.
Yeah, they still have that.
And the FX4.
But then they had King Ranch.
Limited.
Harley Davidson.
Yeah. Just too much. None of these things go together.
Right. Rawlings, like baseball gloves?
Right. The King Ranch, when you open it up, it looks like a fucking it looks like a baseball glove.
Yeah. So this is way off topic. So
we've drifted into cars.
Like that never happens on this show. So I had an Explorer and the power window switch broke. So it was stuck down. So I took it to the dealer where I bought it, and the owner of the dealer was a small dealer, and I got to know the guy, because my parents had bought 2 cars there. I bought one. So he goes, hey, I said, well, I got to call my mom to come pick me up. I'm an adult, but I'm at home,
Sure.
And he's like, no, don't make your mom come out in this storm, because it was summer. The thunderstorm was coming. He's like, we put your Explorer in the bay so it doesn't get wet. And he just tosses me a set of keys. He's like, yeah, take this. Because the dealer tag's already on it. So I walk out. I'm looking for like a Fusion or a Focus or something. Mm-hmm. Well, there's trucks back here. So I hit the button to see what, beep, beep. Like, over this direction, a bunch of F-250s. Beep, and it's an F-250 King Ranch. The inside of this thing looked like a saddle,
yeah.
Right? And like the stitching, like I felt like I was a cowboy.
Probably smelled like a horse a little bit, yeah. Just to make it feel authentic.
Yeah. So I drive up, and he's standing there. He's like, just make sure you put diesel in it, not gas. And I was like, okay. So I roll out in this thing. There's no sticker on it. So I drive it. He'll have it for a couple of days while they're waiting for the part for mine. I'm like, what is this thing? So I Google it. This was in 2007. Mm-hmm. It was like an $85,000 truck then. Yeah. I'm like, damn, this thing's nice.
Yeah.
So
they put you in the luxury F-250.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, wow, this is nice. But yeah, the interior, it was like a saddle. Like
I kind of like it though.
Oh no, I think it's pretty cool.
It looks strange, but I kind of like it.
And the more like it wears in, it looks better. Mm-hmm.
Like it's softer.
Yeah,
it's like a real saddle.
Yeah. I always put like saddle soap on it. Right. I don't even know what saddle soap does.
No, don't have a clue. I'm sure it does something good.
I soaked up your truck.
All right, going back to nominees. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Now, if you go on social media, or you look at the New York Times or Washington Post, Pete Hegseth is just a co-host of Fox and Friends for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything else. Oh, well, he also has a degree from Princeton and Harvard. Also served in the military for 20 years as a major. Well, major's not a general. No. Like Lloyd Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, except major for active duty. I'm pretty sure that's pretty high up there.
Yeah, it's
not chief, but
yeah, he's an 04.
Yeah,
probably. I think battalion level. You're still with troops in combat.
Well, actually, he was with, I believe, the Army Rangers.
Okay,
he was Special Forces.
Yeah,
in Iraq and Afghanistan, and also did some time down at Guantanamo Bay.
Okay,
but just Fox and Friends. Yeah. That's all we're going to mention.
Yeah,
yeah. So definitely not qualified.
I know some of the ladies get a little thirsty over him.
Well,
not a bad. It's understandable. He's not a bad looking guy.
He's a good looking man.
Yeah.
And then of course they showed him with the shirt off, and he had the Jerusalem cross tattooed on his chest. Mm-hmm. And apparently that's bad. That's bad because now he's a Christian nationalist.
Oh,
because he has it. Never mind the 30 other tattoos he has that also don't make him qualified to be the Secretary of Defense, because apparently there's an Army Ranger without tattoos that hasn't been found
Yes,
yet.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, but this is all criticism from the side that like believes that if someone thinks they're an animal, they should walk around wearing the animal costume.
Yes.
So
Makes sense.
like,
Makes sense. Yeah, so that's strange.
yeah,
Like I feel like you can call someone unqualified if you want to, but at least put all the credentials out there. Don't just say Pete Hegseth, Fox and Friends host for 5 years, is the pick for Secretary of Defense, and end it there.
yeah,
No, he's got some qualifications as well.
right.
Oh, and by the way, he's also the CEO of a company that helps veterans out. Mm-hmm. Which that doesn't mean shit. Apparently,
Right. No.
Why would we have? And I guess
No, they just support the wars. They don't support the people that actually go fight them, because the children of elites don't actually go fight wars. That's for poor black and white and Spanish kids to go do.
Well, and that was the reason why he picked someone like Pete Hegseth, because he did not like the advice he was getting from the political generals. Now, people that don't really understand the military, once you get to a certain point, all of your promotions are political.
Yeah.
Because Congress has to approve them, or they have to be approved at the state legislative level if you're National Guard. Once you get to a certain level, it's all political.
Yeah.
And your rank is now determined on how well you're liked and how well you shake hands. Mm-hmm. Some generals and admirals are in the field. There are different types. Mm-hmm. But this guy was in the actual field. He's not going to have a hard time relating to troop commanders or anything like that.
Yeah.
He's going to listen to troop commanders on the ground.
He's going to understand the impact of the decisions he makes.
Correct.
Further down the line.
Correct. Now, the other thing was, he did say he doesn't believe that women should be in combat roles.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't say anything to keep them out of it, but if I had daughters, I would not want them going to... No, I don't want my boys going overseas to get their guts blown out, but if I had a daughter, see ya, fellas, like, she's staying home, like,
keep in mind, though, he's saying boots on the ground. Mm-hmm. He's not saying there shouldn't be female pilots, female tank drivers, just infantry is what he's saying, or special forces. Mm-hmm. Now, for people that know, the female qualifications for special forces are lower than a male's. And obviously there are some physical differences, right? We're not speaking anything new. I guess the way he is saying it is, look, if we have these standards for special forces, then the women need to pass the standards that are set. Mm-hmm. Even if they're set so only a man can. It's the harder standard.
Yeah.
Look, I have 2 daughters. I hope to God they never go into the military to begin with. Because you're right. I don't want them in the line of fire of anything.
Yeah.
But let's say they do go in the military. I will not have any qualms if they are in support roles. Mm-hmm. I'm not. It doesn't diminish the service.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, and that's the thing. Even like, because you'll have, to keep that soldier in combat, you need all these support people to keep everything moving so that person can be there. So none of these roles are unimportant. Mm-hmm. They might not be as sexy or as cool, but they're still important to keeping to the mission. My big question is, the United States is not engaged in a true peer-to-peer war since probably World War II. Some would say Korea was close, Vietnam to a certain extent, but even including those, it's been 50 years, right, or more since Vietnam. So my thought is, okay, so you have female fighter pilots and they're fully capable of operating these jets, and they're in great shape, they're doing all these things. What happens when the video of her body being dragged through the streets of Mogadishu comes out? It's different when it's a man than when it's a woman. And you can flame me, call me sexist, whatever you want. It's a different optic, right? Than one versus the other. And our enemies are not honorable. What are they going to do with a female POW? So that's we're not dealing with where prisoners were treated with honor and Geneva Conventions and all this like, you know, what happens when that film comes out.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to say what would happen to women that are captured in the war.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's already happened.
Yeah.
Things that just don't happen to a man.
Yeah.
Look, I don't really... I like you said, I know we're probably going to get flamed for saying this, especially me. I mean, I live in a house with 3 women. Mm-hmm. Or 3 females. I don't want them in a one-on-one fight. If it's a one-on-one battle with a guy.
Yeah.
I don't want them being held captive by another man.
Mm-hmm.
Especially one that's in a war. Because they probably don't have a shot at defending themselves. There's always going to be a bigger dude.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some guys that get taken advantage of as well.
Sure.
However, at least they have a fighter's chance, I would say. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're not going to it is what it is. I'm just like, no, I don't, I'm not going to flame the guy for having that opinion. I wouldn't flame him for having the other opinion either.
Right.
Okay? I'm just saying that's not a reason to say he's unqualified.
Yeah.
That's all. Let's see. I don't know who this guy is. Doug Collins. I don't know who Mike Waltz is. I don't know who William McGinley is. Wasn't there a president with the last name McGinley? No?
McKinley.
Okay, not him. All right. This is a fun one. Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, Governor of South Dakota.
Yeah, the one that killed her dog.
Yep. And
that's it.
Can I ask you something? South Dakota, pretty safe place. Why are we naming her the Homeland Security Director?
Yeah.
That one doesn't make much sense to me. Now, I get it. There's really no Republicans in New York you can kind of put in a position that way because you don't want to risk the seat in whatever political position they hold. Can't do it in California because you don't want to. Same thing. Maybe some from Arizona.
Texas.
I mean, Janet Napolitano was from Arizona.
Yeah.
She was a director of Homeland Security at one point. I don't know. Maybe she'd be all right. Now, the other thing is, what happened to her face? Can we talk about that? Do you know what I mean?
I haven't seen a picture of her. I mean, I remember she looked decent. Not that.
I mean, she either went on Ozempic for no reason, or she had some work done on her face, and it looks funky. Mm-hmm. Like it almost looks like a facelift that kind of went bad, like almost like Madonna's. Remember that like alien face looking thing she had going? This is similar. Like, just take a look at it. Like, I want to bring up a picture of like her like from like 3 years ago to her now.
Right.
I'm just like, ooh, like, sweetie, you got to get off the Ozempic. Like, can we talk? Like, she
was always thin anyway. Why would she be?
She had a fuller face though, and it looked nice. Like, I don't understand why women go to the extreme with this either face surgery like Courtney Cox did or Jennifer Aniston. Like when they do the Friends reunion show, that shit looked fucking weird, man.
Yeah. Oh, she does look weird.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But like an older picture, she doesn't look.
It's not that way.
No.
Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden she was on the news a lot and she was like, oh, I don't like the way I look. And she went and she either did Ozempic and got the Ozempic face, or she did some plastic surgery and got a facelift done. Either way, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, why? Here's the thing.
Like Joan Rivers.
Yeah, man. It's like, I don't get it, man. Like,
you get one more facelift, you're going to have a beard.
Dude, all these women, like, I don't women like complain like men put the pressure on to do this shit. I think it's women that put the pressure. Like, sweet, no one thought you were not good looking. Pre whatever you did. It's like Lainey Wilson. She went on the Ozempic thing too. It's like, you were not fat.
Yeah.
You weren't, I mean, come on now. Like, what are we doing here? Mm-hmm. Like, ladies, get off the Ozempic if you don't need it.
Yeah.
Stop this shit. No one likes Skeletor-looking faces. Like, it's not right.
Right.
Like, stop it. Like, I don't know who you're doing it for. I can't imagine you do it for you. You got to look at that Skeletor face. I mean, shoot. Look, I mean, those cheeks got sucked right the fuck in. Like, what do we do? Stop, ladies. Like, I get it. I'm mansplaining. Yeah. I'm a dirty old man. I'm a dirty man. What the hell you do? Why we ain't got to listen to you? We ain't here out here. We're looking good for you. Okay, I get that.
Right.
I get that. I'm not saying that.
Right. But don't look good by any measure.
But you don't look healthy.
Yeah.
And no, don't get me wrong. I'm more of a cushion for the pushing kind of guy.
Yeah, maybe after she shot her dog, she felt bad and got depressed.
That dog was shot 10 years ago. Stop that. She did that way after the dog died.
I just remember hearing that story. I'm like, why would you talk about that?
Yeah, you got to not put that in the book. I'm sorry. Like, you got to keep some stuff
There's
to yourself.
Shit you should leave out of your book.
Right, yeah. You got, like, I get you're trying to be transparent because we're all trying to be transparent, but maybe you leave that one out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
people love dogs.
Like, why don't you just tell everyone you shot grandma too?
Yeah.
In the face. That'd be like, that would literally be like Dick Cheney writing a book and putting that he shot his best friend in the face.
Right.
Bros, if you don't got to put that in,
we know.
Leave that story out. I mean, even if we didn't know, it's like you don't have to bring that out.
Yeah.
Let that one stay in the dark. Let that one stay in the dark a little bit. But, I don't get her. I don't get her as a pick. But I have no qualms with it.
No.
Why do I sound Southern right now?
I don't know.
I need to stop this.
Yeah. Maybe you're like Kamala and you're trying to talk to your audience.
I'm code switching.
But I guess when you don't want establishment people, you have to go outside the establishment. And that was one of the big criticisms of his first administration. One of his own
gave you further out in South Dakota.
Yeah,
that's not near any establishment.
Yeah. One of his own admitted shortcomings was he went and just, like he said, drain the swamp and then just put appointed swamp creatures into positions.
She got popular because she didn't close down Sturgis during COVID.
Right.
She allowed Sturgis to continue on.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of got the Republican flag bearer on her because she didn't bow down to the people. Whatever. I mean, she's what she is.
Some of these picks, though, there is a Simpsons where they're getting ready to run Krusty the Clown for office as Republican, and they go to the Republic. So any episode of The Simpsons, the Republican Party headquarters is Dracula's castle, and then you go there, and it's like they have all the Republicans. It's like Dr. Hibbert, Krusty the Clown, Rainier Wolfcastle, Mr. Burns, Dracula, like all these. And as these names read off, I'm like, this could be like the Simpsons Republican Party.
It was so someone posted this meme. Unfortunately, they were serious. They weren't trying to post it to be like funny, but they put Trump's cabinet, and the picture was of Voldemort and the Death Eaters. I was like, man, if you guys weren't trying to be serious, that shit would have been hysterical.
Yeah. Like,
try and be funny.
Yeah, but they take themselves too seriously.
Way too seriously.
And some lunatic thinks, oh my God, they were the Death Eaters. Like,
he's going to start going around saying Avada Kedavra all over the place and actually trying to kill people. No, you dummy. It's funny. It's a joke. Lee Zeldin, we talked about it. Mike Huckabee, whatever he has been. Elon and Vivek. I think I missed one. Oh, yeah, the Director of National Intelligence. And this is probably the last one we'll talk about because the rest of them are just kind of whatever. Tulsi Gabbard.
I love Tulsi Gabbard.
So this is the second Democrat in the cabinet. Director of National Intelligence. The left is having a complete shit fit. Or the Democrats are having a complete shit fit.
Yeah.
And they're still, to this day, their reasoning is because she is a Russian asset.
But that's a lie that they made up.
Yeah.
So they know it's not true.
Correct.
But
They're still, but they don't think you know that it's not true. And there are some people out there that don't believe that it's not true, so they still think it's true. So they're going to put it out there so that they hate the pick.
To them, they think we're too stupid to know that it's not true. And that's the worst part, is they think we're stupid and will continue to believe their stupid lies. And it goes back as like very fine people on both sides. That's not what was said. Even the insurrection, like when the police open the door and let you in, like I'm trying to figure out how that's like. If I came up to a building and there's a police officer standing there and he said, "Come on in," I assume I was allowed to come in there.
Right.
You know, like.
I mean, there were some assholes there.
Sure, there were some assholes.
Swinging some sticks like weapons. I mean,
there were also assholes burning down cities for the previous, year.
Listen, Antifa's just an idea, Mike.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's just an idea.
You're supposed to believe that, too.
They didn't just have a confrontation with Seattle police 2 weeks ago.
Right.
They didn't surround police officers 2 weeks ago.
The idea did.
The idea surrounded them. the wall of people in all black clothes and face masks, and that's just an imaginary fart in the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they definitely, during 2020, didn't take over 3 city blocks and turn it into an autonomous zone,
right,
as they like to call it, and name it the Chaz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't happen.
Nope.
No, didn't happen.
Nope. That was mostly peaceful but fiery.
Right. Nobody died in there. Nobody got stabbed. And, I'm sure emergency medical services and the fire department were definitely let in to help those people.
Absolutely.
There's no way they would have blocked them.
An idea couldn't have blocked them.
Couldn't have. Yeah, there weren't actual barricades that were made of concrete and steel.
And protected by armed people.
Yeah. No, that didn't happen at all. I'm glad we weren't so gullible to believe that at all.
Only an idiot would believe that.
Can't believe it. Yeah, there's no way that happened. They wouldn't let some militant group take over a part of the city.
It was all misinformation.
Must have been. It was on Twitter, so it definitely was misinformation at the time. Although,
was it Elon Twitter or was it good Twitter?
Oh, sorry, it was good Twitter. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Because Twitter's bad now.
Very bad. Only misinformation is there.
Right.
There's no real information that's true.
Dis and malinformation.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And that's all we're going to get there. That's all we're going to get.
Right.
Nothing real will be said.
Not one syllable.
Everyone's going to go to Blue Sky now. Like they were going to go to Mastodon before and Threads before that. And yeah, they're definitely going to go to this one, though.
This is the winner.
This is the one. I mean, Don Lemon said he was going. I mean, he wrote a whole letter.
He just did. He posted a video of himself doing it.
You would think. I mean, I'm pretty sure that his Twitter account's been deleted by now, right?
Yeah.
No.
I'm sure he didn't keep it.
He definitely did not keep it, but keep it.
It's just dormant.
Just, yeah.
In case he wants to come back to it.
Listen, there's no one behind it actually tweeting anything.
Right.
Except Don.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely not going to tweet anything tomorrow or the next day.
No.
No.
Never again.
No. He's gone, Mike. He told you he was gone.
Right. He's a Blue Sky.
Blue Sky. You got to follow him there.
I don't know what that is.
Don't know.
Don't plan on going there.
No, I can't have any more social media. I'm sorry. I hate the ones I'm on.
Right. Now, Tulsi, is Director of National Intelligence the same as National Security Advisor?
No.
See, there's all this security shit. So, like, of the agencies, there's DIA, NSA, CIA. Isn't there an Office of Naval Intelligence?
I'm sure there's something like that.
Like, all these different, like, what do these people do? Besides, well, I mean, they don't spy on people domestically. I know they don't do that.
They definitely don't do that.
No.
That would be misinformation.
Right.
In fact, this we couldn't even put this on YouTube if we said that.
Right.
So it definitely didn't happen.
Don't do that.
No.
So
Edward Snowden was completely full of shit when he told the American public about that.
Him and the other guy, Assange, should both be summarily executed. Mm. So, but all these, like, I'm like, what do these guys do? Like,
they advise, Mike.
Okay.
I mean, National Security Advisor
Right.
I mean, what else are you going to do but advise?
So is Director of National Intelligence, that's a cabinet level position? Or
I wonder if, like, didn't all those groups get put under, like, one umbrella, like the FBI, CIA, NSA? Aren't they all under the National Intelligence Director? Wasn't that done a few years ago?
Maybe.
Kind of put all, so they would work together, which they
it all sounds like an oxymoron to me.
definitely don't do.
There should be appointments for us.
What would you want to be?
I don't know. Like, there's got to be some no-show political appointment job that I could do for 4 years.
Could I be the national movie advisor? I mean, I know a shit ton about just fucking random movies.
Right.
I think I'd be pretty qualified.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any real qualifications. I mean, except for
a lot of these people don't have any real qualifications.
I mean, we have fake Twitter qualifications.
Right.
I mean, I got a PhD. I didn't say what it's in. Could be
stuff.
movies. Yeah, could be movies.
Movies are stuff.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I could be. Shoot, man. I mean, I couldn't be like the National Grounds Advisor because I don't know really shit about grass. My grass looks like shit. I got a lot of bare spots on it now.
So I
pay someone for that shit lawn too. That's even worse.
See, my shitty lawn's free.
Well, you know what? You're doing it better than I am. That's for damn sure.
So I was thinking though. So there are a lot of cars these days that have historic tags on them. Mm. There's nothing historic about them.
Yeah.
So it could be a national director of deciding whether a car would qualify to be historic or not.
Could you confiscate the ones that don't?
If they have the improper registration, sure.
So you could, and if they happen to end up in your garage or your driveway, would that also be legal?
Yeah, well, they got to go somewhere.
Right.
It would be a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I mean, I don't think the government should get them.
No.
Because you found them.
Right. So I'm thinking that I could go and decide. So, perfect example. Let's take a 93 Mustang, right? Mm-hmm. Now, is a 93 Mustang with a V6 historic? No, it's a shitbox.
You got to have V8 in it to even be in the consideration.
Right.
Yeah.
Minimum GT.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'll take an LX50. In fact, I'm probably thinking the LX50 over the GT, just because it's kind of a sleeper. But like, say it was a 93 Saline. That's definitely historic.
Yeah.
Right? So I'd be the one making these determinations.
Yeah.
You know, is a 2000 Honda Prelude historic? Yeah, kinda. But what about a Type SH? An Integra? Nah.
I mean, look, I got a great example.
But a Type R, definitely historic.
Listen, next year, my 2004 Yukon Denali.
As long as you grease the wheels, I'm gonna make it historic.
All right, then. So I just got to pay off. I got it. No, I got it.
Look, if one in Rome,
right?
Do as the Romans do.
I mean, especially if the payoff isn't that expensive. Like if it's $5, I'll pay that. $10 maybe.
Yeah. Just admitting that Ovi's gonna.
Oh wait, I got to admit. I got to admit before it happens.
You just got to recognize that he's going to break the record.
Listen, I already showed you my GIF. I got to go down with the ship.
I'll release you from the death.
No, I can't. My own pride will not allow me. If he breaks it, he breaks it. But I'm going down.
Going down with the ship.
I will pay my $5 to you, Ann, Josh.
Yeah,
and I will ride off into the sunset in shame.
That's another appointed position. Something with sports arguments.
Director of bad sports projections.
Yeah. But all of these things, like there are 5,000 political appointment jobs.
Yeah.
Right now, look, I have never supported a political candidate enough to get one of these appointments, but a lot of these appointments go unfilled.
I know, right?
They could just give me one of them.
Right. I feel like, and like, why can't we name it something fun?
Yeah.
Why do I have to do the actual job in the description?
Because none of them actually do the actual job.
You're not going to fill that. You're not going to fill that anyway. It's not getting filled.
Yeah, and I can have a whole staff of my boys.
Yeah,
and we can chill.
I mean, what about director of national podcast? Well, maybe that's program. Maybe that's propaganda, though. That sounds a little unfree speechy.
It does kind of sound propagandist.
Maybe, but here's the thing, though. We'd be in favor of creating all the podcasts with all the experts.
All of them.
And we wouldn't restrict any podcasts.
What about some sort of alien position?
I'm pretty sure one exists.
There's got to be an ambassador
one
to
exists
the Zorks.
An ambassador?
Yeah.
Oh, like if they do come, you got to be the one to greet
Can
them.
I be the ambassador to Belize?
That's more dangerous than you think. Because what if the first one up is the one getting the anal probe?
Yeah.
You got it you signed
I'm
up.
definitely sending
No, you signed up.
I have a staff.
You signed up.
A small child, maybe.
No, you got to lube it up before you go because you signed up. Look, you got to take the risks associated with the position.
Right.
I mean, look, you could take some of the baby oil from Diddy's party, and before you get zapped up in there, you just make sure you put some up.
Or
in
maybe
there.
I give it to them, and I'm the one doing the zapping.
What?
The probes both ways.
You're doing the probing. I don't think your equipment can give us any data.
None.
There's no sensors on that. At least the anal probe that would be inserted
but
scientific purposes.
That should be another episode, is to figure out the bullshit appointment jobs and how do you get them.
2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, we're going to name our cabinet.
Yeah.
If we become president, what are our cabinet positions?
Right.
And it's going to be none of these titles.
No.
These suck. I don't want to do
Nothing's
anything like
fun. None of that's fun.
Be the top 10 administrative positions.
Yeah. So we have to find the most bullshit appointment jobs and then name who's going to do them.
Wait. So we're looking for real ones then.
Oh, we need to find. I'm sure.
I was going to make some up. That I thought would be important.
I am sure there's some insane political appointment jobs. Think, the government, the United States, 1776, right? So when did we switch to the constitutional form? 1787. Mm. So now for almost, I'm really bad with math, 240 years, right?
Sure.
For the Constitution.
Sure.
And yeah, because in 2027 it'll be 240 years since 1787, correct?
You're asking me to do math.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So go to that point and then say, okay, which of these, of that time, how many bullshit appointments have been created? Mm. And then, like any government program, they never go away. There's probably like some head cow inspector. No one's inspecting cows anymore. Or like, you know,
the USDA, they don't inspect the cows?
There's probably like a job for like the actual, you know, but an appointment job where you just designate somebody else to do it.
I suppose.
Or you know, to make sure that the ladies have a man with a lantern walking in front when she's driving, like some sort of nonsense, archaic rule that probably still has a position that's probably still funded, that someone's probably still getting paid for. We need to find them, and we need to acquire those positions.
Can we also make them new ones?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, look, National Director of Anal Probes has got to be in there.
I just thought of a bunch of jokes I'm not going to say.
All right, then. 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
That's the episode.
Either actual or fictitious.
Well, we should probably separate. I mean, same episode, but maybe we should separate, you know. We'll let people know which one of the fictitious. Oh,
yeah. We have a poll.
Wait a minute.
Which ones do you think are real?
Right? Maybe imagine if they're that bad you can't tell the difference.
Yeah. Something like there's
this
no way
just got interesting.
There's no way that's real. Oh, it's real.
Oh boy. Ooh. We're gonna make a game out of it.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Oh man. How do we really make it? Is it a game between us? Or should we bring someone in?
Well, it could be fun to bring someone in. This might be a mission for Josh.
Ooh, wait. We could bring it'd be a game show. 2 contestants.
Game show. The winner wins nothing.
Right. No. You're not going to win it. I think the Price is Right where there are actual prizes. The prize is you're less dumb than the other one.
Or more. You can, depending.
Bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, all right. Game show.
Yeah.
We'll have game show music.
We'll think of something.
Yes. All right. You heard it here first. Again, this is... Are we getting into a new thing where we tease episodes now?
I think so.
We did this like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Where we teased the 5 cars under 5,000.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what we think about the appointments. 2 weeks from now, we're going to do a game show on is it a real or fake appointment position? It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you come back Well, I mean, come back next week too, but come back in 2 weeks for sure if you want to watch that episode or listen to that episode. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Definitely rate us on the podcast platforms. I want to thank Adam Chubbuck with techmd.com. Adam is a real estate agent in Pasadena, Maryland, but he works all over Maryland, Virginia, and I believe maybe DC. I have to ask him about that. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.